What's up, guys, and welcome back to The T. Marcus J. Cook here with the dopest dudes in the land. We have our resident intellectual, Raymond, our entertainment guru, Dion Alexander, and the funniest, flyest guy in the land, Jesse Bruce. And if you're joining us today, we are spilling the tea. That's right. We wanted to do an episode or episodes where you out there get to know us. So when you hear us say we're spilling the tea, we're giving you actual, factual things, our stories that happened to us. And I want to start.
Okay.
So everybody has a phone. On your phone, there's an app called Audible that you can download where you can, where you can, with an author of books.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Read the books to you. There's an LGBT author named Michael Holman, and he has a book called Mom and Dad, I'm Gay, Coming Out of the Closet. So I want us to tell our audience our coming out stories.
I'm not out yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I ain't with that gay shit. Man.
Okay.
I
I'm
can't
not gonna
deal.
be able to talk about this commentary.
I need a drink.
I don't get down like that, bro. I don't get down like that. I don't.
Ooh.
I don't put labels on myself.
That is good.
That's good.
So I want to start. So I had to come out twice. And you have to know my family to know why I had to come out twice. So the first time I was telling y'all about third grade. Anyway, my official coming out, because I had some girlfriends in between that, but my official coming out story. So picture it. Bessemer, Alabama, 1995. I was in the 9th grade and I went to a gospel expo. And there was a guy that we all know. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was one of the performers at the gospel expo. He performed with a group. And so after his performance, he came over and there was an empty seat beside me. He sat beside me and we started talking about some of the acts. Some were good, some were not so good. And he was like, you're really funny. We should exchange numbers. And I was like, yeah, we should exchange numbers. So we exchanged numbers, and one of my favorite groups had just dropped a CD.
Destiny's Child.
No, Escape. They had dropped Traces of My Lipstick. And I love Candy. To this day, still love Candy. Like, love Candy. So, he loved Tasha. So, we would talk about the CD. I know, but anyway, we would talk about the CD and talk about the songs and everything. And I can't. When we would talk, he would be like, he was just so wise to me. Like, he would say
Was
things.
he older?
No, we was the same age.
Oh, wow.
But I'm gonna tell you why he was wise to me. He was saying things like I would be like, I love. Stop. I would always be like, oh my God, Candy's vocals were so amazing. Like, they were so amazing and so clean. And so he was like, don't get me wrong, Candy is beat and all of that, but Tasha is the T. And I was like, what do you mean Candy is beat? Like, I didn't understand the terminology that he was using. And so he was like, she that girl, like she got the best body, she got the best hair, they give her the best verses, but Tasha is the T. I didn't know what the T meant. And so, so after that conversation was over, the next day he called me. And when I said hello, he said, what's the T? And I was like, I don't know, Tasha? Like, I don't know.
Oh.
So he was like, bitch, that's right, Tasha is the T. And I just was lost. That's why he was so wise to me, because he knew a terminology that I didn't know. And he said, let me ask you a question. What did your folks say when you came out to them? And so I told him about the third grade incident. And he was like, boy, no, like, you need to come out to your mom because what you are doing is there's a whole culture out there that you are so unaware of. You are not allowing yourself to get to know who you are or who you can be because you are stuck in this one mold because you worry about what your mom, and what you essentially is doing is not allowing your mom to get to know the real you. So I thought about what he said, and I was like, well, I don't want to really out myself to my mom if, if she didn't recognize from what I told her in 3rd grade. But I thought about it and I said, okay, when my mom called home from work, and she always does, I'm going to tell her. So she called and I was like, I got something to tell you when you come home. And my mom was like, no, tell me now. And I was like, well, I don't want to tell you now. She's like, no, tell me now. And I was like, it's nothing bad. I like boys. I'm going to say this. Like I don't know I have an issue saying I'm gay. Even to this day, I really can't say I'm gay because I don't even really consider myself gay. I can just say I like boys because I like a plethora of things. I'm not a slut or nothing like that, but I like a lot of things. So anyway, I was like, well, I like boys. And she was like, I already knew that. And I was like, well, why you didn't tell me? And she was like, well, I was waiting on you to tell me. And I'm like, well, this is confusing. But
I think there's a difference to know and to really know. Like, I think once you manifest and you say it out your mouth, I think most parents, you be around somebody, the thing. You may not know everything,
right?
But you can see some things or you can tell some things. But I think until the child actually verbally says it, that's when it makes it a reality.
Yeah. Well, I understand it now. So when she got home, she took me to Dairy Queen. We talked about boys, type of boys I like. We talked about sex. I had told her I wasn't having sex yet, and I might have had a couple of experiences, but I did not, tell her that. So when we got home, I'm thinking everything, okay, and you have to know my family to know. But so the next morning, she was like, let me talk to you for a minute. And I was like, yeah. And she started asking about my friends. And this is to come to your point, which you made at one point in time last show, when you were saying the people you were around. So my mom was like, is this person gay? Is that person gay? Is that person gay? And I was like, yeah, they are. And she was like, you can't hang around them no more. I want you to block their phone. So I went through a depression for about a couple of months because I didn't have anybody. I just told my mom this big news. I had nobody to talk to about it. It was really bad. And then my mom saw me one day and was like, why you walking around the house so sad? And I told her, I can't talk to my friends. I don't know who to express myself to. And she was like, boy, you can talk to them friends. And so, and that was my coming out story. So who would like to share?
Well, I don't. I'm just going to go last.
You going to go last?
Well, I don't mind. My coming out, I can't really say I ever really came out. Really, I can't really say I did. I never had to express myself, or I didn't feel that I had to explain who I am to anybody else, because you didn't explain what you're doing to me. So I never made this, I'm this, I'm that, or anything. One of my family members, my mom, actually came to me.
Yeah.
I never asked her. I never had that conversation, because I was confident in who I was. I understood it was a decision. Before we're not getting into that deep when I say decision. We're not saying that it's a choice that you make to be what you are at the end of the day. I do believe it's a choice, but we have the position to not take that choice if we really don't want to. I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can suppress it if however you want to do a different route. My mom came to me and she told me, when are you going to tell me that you are talking to guys? And I actually had somebody in my family that called my mom and told my mom, is your son this way because they hang around with my son, and birds of a feather flock together.
What? How did it make you feel?
I mean, it made me feel any type of way because I knew who I was. And even with my dad, when it came to my dad, everybody know my dad was a very spiritual person. At one point, okay. He said, what am I? He told me, come ride with me, Ramon. I said, my dad didn't want me to ride. With him, we ride with each other. He said, we ride. He said, what am I supposed to tell people? At my church, I had just moved to Birmingham. What am I supposed to tell the people? And when I first moved to Birmingham, I didn't even think because I never had talked to dudes in high school, or that was not even on my mind, just being honest.
Yeah.
And now that caught me off guard because I hadn't really identified myself as that yet.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, what am I supposed to tell the people at my church when they ask me is my son gay? I said, well, number one, if you over this church and they're not respecting you enough to come ask you your personal business, you got an issue with your leadership, number one. Number two, the only thing, and I know we all kind of maybe a little spiritual, I'm not trying to take it to be real deep, but the only thing the Bible tells us as a man to do is to be a giver of understanding and to be a provider. It don't talk about all that other stuff. So as long as I'm providing for myself and I'm being an inspiration to somebody else, and I don't see anything wrong with what I do. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to be respectful. But that's my coming out. I ain't going to really say I had it. Like I said, I can't say I had it coming out. Because I don't feel like I got to explain myself to anybody. Period. And even like my jobs I've had has caused turmoil because of how I think. I shouldn't have to come into a place and tell you, hi, I'm Ramon, I'm gay. Why?
Straight people don't have
You
to
ain't
be.
telling me, hi, I'm this person and I'm straight.
But
It shouldn't really even matter for real. But I do think, now I will say at one point when my mom did tell me that, it did kind of I felt empowered. And that's when it started with all my friends. Now I was still at home with my mom at the time, yes. I know this may be unbelievable to some people, but I was. I ain't been on my own all my life. I was a child. But because people forget that. But all my friends, I'm not gonna name no names because some of them not here anymore in the living. Or in my mind, they might be not here anymore either. But I did. I'm just being real. I had this whole plethora of people who was coming over. Now I feel like, oh, my mama really no.
Yeah.
Now they coming over. They spending the night. They coming over in drag. They coming over. And that's what shook the table for my family.
Yeah.
My mom said, like she said, look, I love all your friends because my mom is a Christian, but she ain't always been a Christian.
Yeah.
But she said, I love you. And I remember I was talking to somebody and they was living with me in my mom's house. And my family came down from out of town from Wisconsin. And I didn't really want them to know. I ain't gonna say no, but I guess they want them to know that he was living in the house. I took him back to his mom and them house. You know who called my phone?
His mama?
My mama. She said, you don't have no authority in my house to tell who can't come over. You go pick him back up. He been living here all this time. And if they can't find something, they may have to find their own place to stay because it's my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's beautiful, though.
That is beautiful. Oh, Brandon?
Well, my story really wasn't coming out because the closet door was always open for me. It was really me just accepting who I was myself. Like, I was always the kid that was told by my uncles to keep a hand off your hip, and I had a little extra sauce when I talked, so...
Take the sugar out your turkey.
Yeah, it was a little sugar and Kool-Aid, oh yeah.
Speak with your chest. Stop all that sissy shit.
It took me to really be comfortable with who I am before I came out. Like, your mom always know anyway, period. Like, she knew before I even thought about girls or boys, she knew I was into, things like that. So, how it really hit the fan was when I was on the phone with a friend of mine, I'm not calling no names, and my uncle came over and he heard our conversation. So, in the midst of us talking about boys and things we like to do with boys and things of that nature, I'm not gonna say what it is.
Soft porn.
No, that was kind of hard porn. But anyway, talking about things we wanted to do with boys, and and he came downstairs, told me to hang with the phone, and I told him, last time I checked, my mom and my dad paid my bills here in this house. So I got off the phone and was telling him everything. My mom came home and he told her my whole conversation and things, and she asked me, and I told her, yeah, I do like boys, I get down and stuff. And I forgot to mention that my grandma was with her too. My grandmother told my mom, he's gonna be what he wants to be. The only thing you have to do is worry about he's gonna be a good person. As long as he's not out here stealing or killing, and you should have no issues. And my mom, she adapted that also too. And my dad, it took a while for him to accept it because that same day, she said, you gotta tell your dad. And once I told him about me, he told me just to phase, you're not gonna do this in my house. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You can get any girl you want, blah, 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 blah. But that just wasn't what I wanted. I didn't like girls. So I kind of still was battling who I was. I started going to church and was trying to be born again, speaking in tongue, all that, and I still was not comfortable with who I was. So eventually I wound up getting my first boyfriend, and mom still asks why only boys call the house. They're supposed to be straight and all this. And I even got another friend of mine. This is very funny. She was a so-called stud. She would actually dress up like a girl, come to my house, like we finna go on a date. We get into the car and she took all that off, got on her bag of jeans and her white tee, because that's what they was wearing back in the day, white tees. Mm-hmm. And she would go see her girlfriend, I would go see my boyfriend. And my mama said, I ain't stupid, I know what you doing, boy.
Oh my God.
What's a white tee?
You remember when they was really long? Like they were super long.
Yeah, they was super long.
They were called a tall tee back then.
Yeah, tall tee.
Okay.
Franchise boys, wings to the rock with it.
Can I ask you a question? Because you said something, Brandon, that was very interesting to me.
What?
You said that people prior to you coming out some of your family have already made comments about who you are. Do you think that actually plays a part in, because sometimes I think it may play a part, because if you have these people who supposedly love you, and they're telling you that you are something,
labeling you
that
something
you may not even have
any
at
idea
that
what
point
it is.
identify with. Do you think that may have pushed? Do you think that can push other people to be or to make a choice to be something simply because so many other people are saying you are this way? Oh, look at good, he gonna be gay. Stop putting your hand on your hip like you gay. That's what girls do. Mm-hmm. Look at him looking like, she's over looking like a sissy. You ain't gonna do. Do you think that, and even if you wasn't identifying at that moment, do you think that can push people over to a different creed?
No, I feel like it really depends on the person. Like I had already thought about guys as even younger, like in my elementary school years, I would look at boys and think they were cute. And I also like girls too at that point too, but it wasn't until I got into middle school where I really realized that I really like boys. And I do feel what you're saying. Like I do feel like it depends on the individual. Like some people would just by your family or your uncles or your father saying, don't do this, that's gay, you might actually try to see if you like it, but
no, I'm saying they're telling you.
It goes both ways.
Well, yeah, like it depends. Like
we have the similar stories, but we come out on different ends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I've never been that type of one. I was the oldest, so I was the first. So with me being the oldest, there were cousins and brothers and siblings that were all younger than me that had a certain age. So I had to be like, in a sense, the protector, the older one. But I remember, I'm not gonna lie, I was like not a very boy. So when boys wanted to play with footballs, I wasn't studying it.
Oh no.
But I had people pushing me to do masculine things like take out trash, cut grass.
Oh yes.
Like learn how to change brakes, learn how to change oil, learn how to change tires, learn how to tie a tie. Like like when I was growing up.
The masculine thing?
Well, you have to think about in our community, how many black men that are straight don't know how to tie a tie?
Or cut grass.
Or change a tire. But that's supposed to be, but think about this, that's supposed to be masculine stuff, but here's these straight men who don't know how to do this. But I was a very soft little boy because 90% of my family was women. My dad had, moved and died off. My granddaddy was working, taking care of, him and my grandma were taking care of my other cousins. And then like my mama had boyfriends, but when your mama has a boyfriend, it's not his place to be like, look, let's just be honest. He's trying to be there with your mama and fuck your mama. So he's not trying to be like, oh, your son a sissy. Does it make? But think about it though. He's there for some reason. He's not there to raise a child.
What a fire escape door.
Let's make one.
But I'm just being honest. And then my environment, I went to private schools from first grade all the way through 12th grade. So I'm in this very anti-gay.
So when you came out, how did it happen?
Well, here's the thing. There was a process. Because for the longest, I remember being in kindergarten. I didn't remember who my first grade crush was a boy. But it confused people because all I had calling my mama house was girls. I had a list of phone numbers with nothing but girls. Anytime anybody saw me, I was with a girl. But that was their perception because I was with the girl. I wasn't like, ooh, girl, you so fine. I was like, ooh, best friend. Let's go play with Barbie. Let's go get our nails done. Let's like, the stuff like
Barbie Malibu.
I had female cousins, so it was like you realize that when you're the oldest, you have to watch them, so you have to entertain them. So I learned how to play with Barbie and G.I. Joe. And does it make sense? So I was playing with everything. So there was nothing that I was doing that was uber like, oh, he gonna be the man when he grow up. I was always told, Like they would never, because they know my mama. So everybody know my mama will clown and go off on your ass. Does it make sense? So she's not gonna be like, nah, you ain't gonna tell my child he gonna be a sissy. He gonna be whatever he wanna be. But I had people be like, family members be like, you gonna be a sissy when you grow up. And that's just how it is.
What?
Yeah, I had family members that were like, you gonna be a sissy when you grow up.
So do you
I never
that
had
affect?
It did, because by the time I got, that was before I knew what it was and what was going on. By the time I realized what it was and what was going on, I was so angry because I was taught that this was not right. This was not the way to be. This is not how men or boys are supposed to be. Whereas I couldn't, and as a child, you could try to not do stuff, but if you just a little soft little, because that was the thing when we were growing up. And then I would do that.
Never done that.
And I'm
I did.
I don't even know I can do it now.
Yeah.
For me,
Do you remember that though? Like growing up,
I
like that
remember
was
it.
The reason I can't, because I honestly cannot identify, and that's maybe why people think I may be crazy, but I can't really identify. Like growing up, I didn't know no gay people all my life.
And that was a problem too, because for the longest till I got to high school, I was the only gay person I knew.
Even in high school. The first gay person I met, his name was Chase. He was an older guy, and he used to walk up and down with long hair up down the alley. And I remember one day, I was like about 14 or 15, and he asked my mom, he said, I done saw your son in the club before. My mom said, you ain't saw my son in no club because he ain't number 15 years old.
But I had a good mother. So I had people saying, he gonna be gay.
So do you think since we talking about coming out, I really believe that some people who may not was born that way, because some people are gonna say they were born. I'm not here to argue that. Whatever you feel is what you feel.
I think it's both.
But I do believe it's some people who did not choose the lifestyle, and they wake up one day and they try to understand, how did I get here? Because you may, and the reason I say that is you may have a guy, right? And he done tried to get in with the popular dudes, in the area. He a lame, you this, you dusty, you whatever. You done tried to get in at your school. They ain't really, the girls ain't letting you in. You whatever. And now some way the universe or whatever you believe in, you get in this position where you have somebody now that's showing you all this attention and telling you, how fine, and you dusty, and you may do got some funky feet, just being real. Yeah. But now you got these people that's praising you and that really want to be with you, and they showing you all this attention. So you really start in the beginning, although you understand what it is. You really just going there for the attention because it makes you feel good as a man to be wanted.
And see, what I did was I did the complete opposite. That boy that everybody was like, he gay, and he fighting everybody because he don't want everybody to tell him that he's gay.
Let Jesse make his point.
Well, no, I was like, I still ain't with my coming out story, but because I had stages of coming out. Because the only person I officially came out to was my mama. Everybody else pulled me out the closet. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So like by the time I got to high school, somebody who's no longer with us, Miss Fox, Miss Fox was the first gay person I met. We went to high school together. So it was like, Fox would sit behind me and be like, whisper in my ear, you're gonna be gay. But you know how Fox was. So looking back, it's funny because I am and I was, but here's the thing I tell people, and this even comes from like those people who decide they want to out people. That's not healthy.
No.
You can't push somebody out there who's not ready. Does it make sense?
No.
Like, I remember being there. Does it make sense? Like, there was no social media.
But that power don't hold no more. Because back in the day, you can hold it over somebody's head. I'm going to tell your family, and you really instill fear in them people.
Yeah, and that's what the thing was.
People don't care.
They still do care. Let's be honest. They still do care. They do care. Now, this younger generation is coming up. They are more accepting. I will give them that. They're more accepting. But there's some older heads.
Is it accepting or tolerating?
Both. Either way, it's going to a good place, though, because there was a time, we weren't tolerated. Because I remember getting beat up. I remember getting jumped. I remember
Marcus got something on his mind. I can tell when you got. I can tell your aura when you got something.
This is my thing. We were talking about, can conversation make? I don't care how much conversation or how much somebody say this that it's not gonna make your penis get hard.
But no matter how much I fought it,
right?
But no matter how much. Think about this.
What I'm saying is, I don't care how much. To me,
I'm not saying about this.
I don't care how much
accepting yourself.
No, I'm just saying. If you didn't know, if you was little
Mhm.
I'm just asking, like, you have some people like that.
But we didn't start off with it. We started off with I'm Dusty and
I'm coming out.
right. We started out. No, it's about Ramon's point when he was saying, well, when you didn't receive the attention at this point, and now you receive attention from
But
all
some
these
people,
gay
But that's how I went about
Well,
it.
hold
Think
on, but
about it.
listen. To me, that's why sexuality is a prism.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can be. And this is just my.
But look what age we at.
I have said this my entire life, and this is for real my entire life, because I know me and what I'm attracted to. Nobody is 100% anything. Sexuality is a prism.
Fluid. It is fluid.
It
I
is
will
a
give it that.
prism. I don't care who don't believe that. I know for me, because like I said, I know myself. At some point, even if you thought I can't do that, you pictured in your head your sexual, you being sexual with the opposite or the same sex, even if it was nothing but, bro, I can't even do it.
But I remember
So to me, that's why I said sexuality is a spectrum
yeah.
as opposed to
I
one
agree with
specific.
Because
I
think
understand
about
that.
this, and not even just in the gay community. And I'm just gonna say this: I remember coming out and fresh on the scene. I was a bottom, and then I got through my 20s. Then all of a
Wait,
sudden,
what?
a bottom.
What that is.
Google it. And then after that, I decided to change my position to go to something else. And then I decided to change my position again to encompass both of them. And then I decided, oh well, hey, this is female
But then that
over
kinda-
here.
but
Like,
then
does
that
it make
kinda-
sense?
Yeah,
Like,
very much.
But that kind of goes back to the
Finding yourself.
D-Way and Zanaya thing to
Yeah.
where, okay,
but think about
are we
this.
going, this person 12 or 13 years old, and are we going to start this transition and stuff? And what if we start doing all this and they get 19, 20, 22,
And don't wanna
this
do
ain't
it
what
no
they
more.
want to do no more?
Agreed.
And now
Right.
another Caitlyn Jenner story.
But at the end of the day, what you have to do
Did
as
you
a
say
parent,
Lord?
yeah. Well, no, that's true because we know, and it ain't just Caitlyn Jenner. I know a lot of people who have been gay a long time and have done drag and decided all of a sudden I want to be transgender and cut my penis off. I have a friend right now that stays in Atlanta who went all the way the proper way to get their penis cut off, and now this woman cries every day because she has for 30 years stood up to pee, and she can't break that mentality.
Yeah.
To sit down and pee now.
So when did you come out?
Well, when I was in high school, I met Fox, and I fell for Fox after fighting it for so long. Because what I tell people about, because I'm the person that people come to about, hey, I think I'm gay, and I want to talk to you because I feel like everybody perceives you as a nice, cool gay person. It's like, that was not always the perception. I had to fight for that. Does it make sense? And that's why I say Zion them gonna have it harder in the sense that we think about, like, and you might not, well, as far as my life, I'm
they
gonna say
got
this.
money, so they ain't gonna have nothing hard.
Yeah, but see, at the same time,
They
there's
can-
certain
they-
things,
they can
right?
isolate
But we were
themselves.
broke, but there's certain things that no matter you rich or broke, you will not get past. You are not gonna get past every obstacle in your life because you are rich. You're gonna have different
Right, 'cause
obstacles.
you will, because you're gonna create your own obstacles.
And
you got-
but
you
guess
got
what that
enough
is, though?
money.
You still got an
But
obstacle.
at the end of the day, you're gonna be able. You can, if you go to a restaurant and you got money and you got your friends, y'all not gonna have to be the spectacle of the whole restaurant in the middle. They're gonna sit you in the middle. Get where they gonna put you in a private sector by yourself with your
Right.
own host.
But at the
and
same
your own
time, though,
everything.
That's what
and
I
I'm not
want.
pleasing.
Thank you.
But-
Yes.
but-
Because
but-
that's what I'm saying.
put me
though.
in the
No,
back.
She's
I don't
not, but
mind.
she's not gonna go through the struggles that we went through.
Absolutely,
Which
she's
is
not.
beautiful because and you
Why is that beautiful?
because she's not gonna have the baggage, the mental, the conditioning that we have. Because I feel like I have a conditioning with being gay and
But
masculine
she's
and
gonna
feminine.
automatically be in a position where she's gonna be not lying.
Jesse, when did you come out?
Well, okay. So y'all remember Noah's Ark,
Yes.
and it used to come on at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So one night I thought my mama was knocked out, and I'm watching Noah's Ark, and it's on, and then I decide I'm going to the bathroom on a commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
I come out the bathroom. She is sitting on the couch with her legs crossed. It was like, because everybody know my mom. My mama's like, she loves like anything art, entertainment, all that stuff. She love all that. So like, she's watching like, oh, this is good.
Hey, Noah.
Ooh,
Hey, Wade.
And I'm on the oh, wait, that's to me kissing. But this is still good. Yes. So we sit there and we watch it together, and then she waits to the end. She said, that was good. Is this new? How long is what channel is this? I was like, this long. She was like, yes. So she says, there's only one type of man that watch this type of TV show. And you know me, baby, you gonna have to drag that info out of me. I'm not gonna give you nothing because I'm the type of person, if you want to know something, be adult, be grown enough, come ask me what you want to know.
Oh.
So she says, I said, what? And she says,
enough.
yeah, but she says, is that something you want to tell me? And you know, me and my mom are just alike. So she said, is that something you want to tell me? Well, is that something you want to ask
me?
So she was like, baby, I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm not doing this with you. I was like, well, girl, you already know what's going on. She said, I do. I've been new.
I'm sure, but she just wanted to
But
tell.
yeah, she wanted me to tell her. Because she said she had already heard from other people that I was going to the club. Her coworkers. And then I would see her coworkers at the club and be like, don't tell my mom.
Oh.
Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
well, see, luckily for me, my family was already in the club. So.
and see, that's the thing. Like, even though everybody knew, I had to accept it with myself that this is who I was, this is who I am. And not only that, it's okay. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Once my mama said I'm gonna love you regardless of she's my child. Yeah. Once my mama said that, oh, it was over with. It was skinny jeans, mohawks, colored hair. It was all that. No, but my mama said one thing she said to me. She asked me though, are you gonna do drag? Are you gonna be one of those? And I said, well, no, I always identified as a boy. I always loved being a boy. I never wanted to wear a wig. I never wanted to wear heels. I never wanted to wear a dress. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, no, not to me.
But you got to think about this. When they think of us as gay, at that time, they think of RuPaul. There was no movie like Moonlight when we were coming up.
Which Moonlight was not I don't get Moonlight, but go ahead.
Moonlight kind of conditioned us, but anyway.
It was a fool. Go ahead. I drove all the way to Atlanta to go and view the film.
Why you review it here?
It wasn't showing here at the time. I wanted to be in the very beginning of it because everybody was saying it was so encouraging and it was so empowering, and I drove all the way to Atlanta.
It was, no offense, it was not encouraging and empowering. That shit was like a relapse of what had happened to me in my whole life.
I mean,
I
really didn't see what happened.
Being honest.
I don't see what happened.
He pretty much in Moonlight. He
that boy in the head with a disc.
I mean, but I'm just saying what happened.
He pretty much was growing up a gay boy, knowing that he was gay. Everybody telling him he was gay, him fighting it, then they picking on him, and then he ended up beating somebody's ass, and then had to go to juvie in prison and all this other stuff. And then he actually comes out
in
and
Moonlight. He
Yeah,
never went to jail in Moonlight.
yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
When he came out, he came to that.
They took him to jail, right? Right. He did it in high school. He took him right on out to the patrol car.
Yeah, and by the time that he graduated, how long he was in? I don't know how long
for a while. He
was.
came out. He
He was an adult.
Yeah.
Well, I saw, but I don't remember.
From what I could see, he was a kid that was picking on him. Next thing I know, he was grown, waking up, and coming back to his hometown. I mean,
Okay, remember they were on the beach?
That was the only thing that really identified
That
with
same boy that was on the beach
at
with
the
him
end.
in the beginning.
It was at the end.
It's the same boy he was at the diner to go see.
Yeah, I get that, but it didn't show nothing else. I mean,
I just recently saw it not so long ago.
You gotta think about this is a.
It was a fool, but me personally, when it comes to gay movies and gay TV shows,
I don't like it. Like
it don't do anything for me because I've lived it and I know it's real
because there's
I know it's fake.
And let's be honest, I'm gonna say this: there are certain LGBTQ movies and videos that people of a other race relate to and go to and think I live. Whereas I'm looking like, well, girl, that's a fucking fantasy because I never lived no life like that. Oh, we can't cuss, sorry. I never lived that life like queer folk.
But you can't say what's not impossible.
I'm not saying what's not impossible. I'm only saying what I lived through and what I can relate to. Not to say that it never happened to anybody else.
Right.
Just what I had to relate to. But I had an eternal struggle with being with how I was. Does it make sense? I had to fight that. I had to overcome that. And then to be honest, at a certain age, once I overcame it and I thought I knew who I was, then another age came and I was like, oh, I'm doing this now. Like, and that's the naive, it's just being open and like.
Well, I think there's evolution.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
we evolve. We don't like things that we like maybe even 3 or 4 years ago.
Because let's be honest, it's some of us who, like, low-key back in the day used to be, when we first came out, super happy and feminine. Like, I used to wear skinny jeans, like, all this other, I still wear tight clothes. But I used to, like, you know, not wear stuff.
I can't identify with that.
Well, I used to like apple bottom.
But I can't identify with that.
Well, what the other boys were wearing, I was not wearing. I had already, and then no offense, anybody who ever really is ahead of the curve in fashion has always been considered gay. Think about how we used to dress back in the day with the tight skinny jeans, but think about how like boys like the Migos.
Well, what you kind of brought that out for the boys?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but okay, I had a mohawk before Diddy had a mohawk. Right about the time he did the marathon, I had a mohawk. The girls gave me hell for that mohawk.
So let me ask you this question. Now that we have talked about, you know, all of our individuality and individual coming out stories. Now, once we found out this information, you know, or came to terms or came out, Then the next point is what?
Finding people of my own kind.
Finding people of your own kind
Oh, Lord.
to date.
To
and
be in a relationship with.
Friendship.
Be in a relationship with.
I'm in therapy for that right now.
Okay.
Now,
Go ahead.
what I struggle with, and I'm just gonna be honest,
Mm-hmm.
as far as evolving, I know who I am, and I kind of like who I am. Kind of like who I am. I mean, hey,
You done grew into it. It ain't gonna
It's
change.
right.
It is what it is.
But
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people tell me that, yeah, okay, you this, but then you haven't really attained like a relationship.
I've never been in one.
And
What is that
I've
attain,
been in
though?
one.
I
But
don't know
the
what
thing
it
about it is what I struggle with, and somebody told me, I don't know who it was, but we were on the phone, and
is. Not on the field.
On the field.
On the field.
I'm sorry, you know, I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And he got an
Shout
iPhone,
out
so
to
they don't
the
say it's a
414.
phone.
Shout out
You got an
to
iPhone,
the
so it ain't a phone.
414. So, you know, when we was on the phone, and they said, well, your problem
It's
is
just one
that you look at everything from a financial standpoint. Which brings me to, we done came out, we done had all our experiences, now we're trying to find something to signify what we've actually came out as. Now we want to try to find that person who is for us, since we've now have inhabited ourselves within this lifestyle.
Maybe that's why I'm still single.
But what I struggle with is the financial part. And they say, well, that's why you single, because you look at everything as money.
No, you're used
But-
to being the only person. Well, no matter.
Well, I don't feel like that, because
I do.
I think it's about compromise, but money is really the control of the relationship. People can say, oh, I'm just being real, y'all. I'm just being honest. It's just me. I don't want nobody who ain't got no car. I don't want nobody who's trying to do this, or I'm about to go to school. I'm too old. And even when I was younger, just being honest, I done did all kind of crazy things, and I paid the price for some of the things I did. But even back then when I was younger, 1 + 1 had to equal 2. And at the age that I am now, I can't date nobody for potential. I can't say, oh, you about to get a car, or babe, I can encourage you to go get a job making $11 an hour because now you get making $7. I can encourage you to go do, I don't have, what?
Go ahead.
There's a certain part of that.
Well, I'm just saying, but I have an issue with my own personal struggle. I guess I can't see it.
Because
I guess can't.
And I'm not speaking for you. I'm just saying you've known, because me and you security kind of relate to this. You've known that I got to get off my ass and get me a job and get some money. Studying ain't the way for me. Drag and getting tips ain't the way for me. Going and stealing ain't the way for me. Selling my body for this, that, and the other to get in and get up ain't the way for me.
Whoa. Now, if I had the body to do it, I'm just being real.
You really
If
ain't
my
got
body-
the body to do
If I had
it.
the body
If
to
they
do
want it, they want
I
it.
would not be at work.
It really
I'd
ain't
have
about
some
body, though.
cars, and I'd be like, hey,
Mm.
call me, you know.
Right.
I'm not against that. I'm all for it. If you going, because we're doing it anyway.
Because Ronnie
So
said
if
you
can
got to
get a
use what
coin.
you got to get what you want.
But what I cannot do, but some people I feel like that control.
Not only
And-
that, I feel like some people are glorified for that aspect. I feel like in
What
our culture,
aspect?
for let's just gonna call it, for being like one of them like porn star little hoe ass niggas that, you know what I'm saying, be bopping the
Well,
bopping
no,
from
I'm
nigga to
referring,
nigga.
I'm referring as far as to
Little porn.
the relationship aspect that
Yeah.
some people like to have.
Taken care of.
Well, no, it's not really. It's not about taking care of. It's about what comes with being taken care of.
Mhm.
If I'm taking care of you now, in my mind, but this comes from a single person. Before y'all attack me and
Mhm.
all these bomb threats and stuff towards me, you know, because
He feels like
I'm
got no
not
bombs.
talking about anybody in
They got
general,
bombs.
because I don't know anybody business
Oh.
but my own.
Mm.
But
Pull me up.
well, I'm just being
Just give me the
honest.
ball.
But I just feel like it's a control thing, because if
It is.
you're taking care of the person, they driving your car, you housing them, you basically taking care of this person, it becomes a parent-child relationship.
And
Not
that's
all
what
the
it is.
time.
It's a situationship. Let's just go. I remember my grandma telling me, don't give people too much, because if you do, they'll
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your hand more
More
so
than
than they will like you. And I have been a victim of that. Like I've been in situationships where, but that's why I can't say I've ever been in a relationship, because I've never really felt like another person has given more than I've given.
Yeah.
So I can't label it as a relationship because to me, a relationship is where you build, where you grow. Well, these are things that we do together to get us to the next
But
step.
you do realize that everybody does not have that understanding of what.
And that's when it becomes not a
Especially
relationship.
with us, 'cause you gotta
It
think about
becomes a
with us.
situationship.
We've looked up and watched.
To me.
A lot of us, not even just our mamas and daddies, we've looked at and watched relationships and roles where a man and a woman, one is masculine, one is feminine. This is how he does for her. This is how he takes for her. Like, I'm in a relationship now where I have to let this person know, like, hey, we ain't Martin and Gina. We are Martin and Martin. So where it's Martin and Gina and all them other situations where this woman sat at the house, we not doing it.
I can feel like if I can get my hair cut, hypothetically, I don't because I can't afford it. But if I can get, well, I can. If I can get if you're a person, if you're a person and you can get your hair cut every week, and you getting your hair cut every week, you eating good, you doing everything you want to do. Now all of a sudden you get this man in your life, and now you got to get your hair cut every 3 weeks. Now all of a sudden a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people in my lifetime, they be doing very good and they get these men in their lives, and now all of a sudden, we saving? Well, what you saving for? Because now y'all got two incomes. You got your income and their income, and now you saving? It's a lie somewhere. It's a lie somewhere.
I don't know if it's a lie.
It's about balance, though, too.
It's not about, it's about money at the end of the day.
You gotta balance the money.
It's about balancing the money.
But you know, we all like what we like and we all see what we want to see.
I feel like if you taking care of somebody, you have that control. When you look at people's relationships, normally the people who are very catty and say what they want to say, those are the people who hold all the coins in their hand. They're the ones who hold the car. They're the ones who hold the home. They're the ones who hold how you get back and forth to even the job that you have. And so that becomes a point to where I have now this control. So I can talk smart to you and I can say these things to you. And what you gonna say in return? Because at the end of the day, if I pull back, what you gonna have? And some men, as men, we're leaders, and some people do like to have that type of control to signify who they really are, because they might be struggling with other issues. And now since I have these other issues, I know some things I've struggled with, low self-esteem, depression, different things of that nature. So if you already have these things going on, but now I can take control over another aspect, I'm now empowered and I can move on. I don't want that kind of relationship.
But you know what you
because
want.
that's not a relationship.
It's not.
That's when it turns into, this is just my situation.
Right.
Because if it's not equally yoked, if we both can present something to the table and say this is equal and we can grow, that's why I don't feel like it's necessarily a lie or we saving for something. Because if I get in a situation where we both have the same things to bring to the table, I want more. I want us now to make a life together. I want to now build. Now, instead of us staying in two separate apartments, I really don't want to stay with nobody for real. But for the sake of conversation,
let's be honest. Like, we stay in Birmingham, so it's one, and I ain't trying to out nobody out. One, it's hard to find somebody who actually graduated from high school, let alone got a job, let alone not only got a job. And let's be honest, a job and a career are two totally different things.
But I think they're out there. But I think that the people, because from what my experience has been just in this lifestyle, I've had several people who've talked to people who I've been friends with or anything, and they're like, "Oh, Ramon, I really love them. I'm doing this for them. I'm doing that for them, and this and this." And you have those people, and they get with these bad people, and it turns them into a bad person, because now they tried to be a good person, and being a good person really got them nowhere. So it's like, if you can't beat them, then join them. Yeah. So I do think it's people that are out here that are, thriving to want something more. Because to me, a relationship is a business deal at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you living in, how I feel, if you living in an apartment right now, and you and your boyfriend or your girlfriend have an apartment, and y'all come into one apartment together, y'all should be balling at the end of the day.
See,
I don't want to go to an apartment.
But no,
I want to go to a house.
If you do go to a house.
And that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing.
Like, we should be going to the next level together.
As straight, even on the straight counterparts, like, it doesn't always go like that.
That's true.
What you mean?
You got more women taking care of men than anything now,
Right.
especially in the black community.
It don't matter who you
Well, it's
with.
not about
If you
that.
taking care of somebody, that's not a real
It's
relationship.
not to me.
There is a situation. I don't care
But-
if it's 2 men, 2
But what,
women,
okay,
man,
so what are
or
you gonna
whatever.
do when you're being taken care of? I'm taking care of them financially, and because yes, financially, I got the money, I got the credit. But let's say,
And you a fool.
But wait, let's say mentally, I'm not there. But this person is grounded. He's not emotional. He might be broke, but he's never been lifted to be told that you can do this. Because a lot of times, what I realize,
So now we're dating people for potential, and that's where the problem comes in.
but you can't. Here's the thing.
Or now,
and this, I would say this.
or now we date people to make us feel good.
Yeah,
We
but I
all
would say
dated
this though.
somebody that was really not good for
For
us,
us,
or that was
yeah.
on a level.
But that's part of the journey, though, isn't it not? Yes.
But that's my problem.
You're not willing to go down the journey?
I'm not gonna go. And if it means that I be single for a long time, or I'm okay with that. Because you have so many people who want to keep throwing in your face, oh, my man,
Right.
my man.
But you
then
just said
at
it,
the
though.
end of the day,
What did you see, though? You said you're okay with it. And those people who
But,
are the problem,
again-
but the people who are doing this stuff that you're seeing are not okay with being single. So that's why they are in these
and I commend
relationships.
it, and
Does
I
it make sense?
respect them for
That's
that.
why all in these
But I'm
relationships
just
where they
saying,
have all
as
the
for-
money and he ain't got nothing.
And for me, I'm not willing to put all that into it.
But you actually
I want-
learn. Some of us learn by watching others, and some of
I
us
mean,
learn by
I've
going
been
through.
there. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sit up here and act like I'm just hell married. I ain't never did. I done did it before. I mean, so I'm not one of them people who are afraid of their past. I done did all kind of stuff. That's why I can talk about it now.
Yeah.
But I'm in the position that I am now in life. I used to have that mentality. Well, I'm a man, and I'm gonna take care of myself regardless if you here or not. So you can come on and move on in with me because regardless if you here or not, I'm still going to pay this bill. And I used to have a mentality that it's not about the money.
All right.
So,
Then you meet somebody who wanted all your money
And then you get tired.
and get them out of there.
Whether you gay,
And
straight, bi, whatever, you know what the other person wants from you once you first start talking to them. You already know what type of person they is. It's your decision whether or not you want to deal with that person
I
or not.
agree.
and then you have to go on an apology tour to yourself. And speaking of apology tours,
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg recently went on an apology tour. Well, so
A lot of people agree with what he said, and a lot of people didn't agree. But I do understand where his mom was coming from when she called and told him that you were kind of disrespectful and I didn't raise you that way. And I do applaud Snoop Dogg for going to the red table to talk with Mrs. Smith, and actually apologizing to her. To Miss Gayle about the things that he did say. Even though he did ask if it was okay for him to say what he said, and they said, yeah, it's okay, and he said it anyway.
Well, there's-
Snoop Dogg. I mean, it's just really, it's just a crazy situation. What you guys think about it?
I like it and I don't like it.
I have the same thoughts. Like when I saw the video of Gayle and when I saw the interview of Lisa Leslie and Gayle King, what's her name?
Gayle King.
Okay, when I saw the interview,
Oprah's runner-up.
I did
Shame.
did say the same thing. I was like, I call her name.
What you call her?
I'm not gonna say what I call her. And I didn't think 2 seconds about it because I was like, I was offended that she would try and tarnish, or not even tarnish because it did happen, but that she would bring that up and then reiterate and double down again.
But would you really see it?
But it's
Would you
okay
really-
for me too to come bring out something from 23 years ago to happen.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
And I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying this is how I felt about the situation. I did get angry. So when Snoop Dogg said what he said, it just so happened he said what he said after I said what I said. And I was like, that's right. And then when he apologized, I didn't think 2 seconds of it until he apologized and told his story about his mom. And that's when I said, oh, I did just disrespect this woman by calling her her name, and all she did was stay fast.
Let me tell you something. I don't care about disrespecting nobody because ain't nobody ever cared about disrespecting me. So we're gonna start with that. There's a certain level that you give somebody, and then don't. Here's one thing I hate about people because I'm one of those people that's always told you were right until you open your mouth and said what you said. You were in the. So I feel like that's a
Been
lot.
in that situation.
Yeah.
before.
Like, I've been in a lot of situations where I was right, but by the time everything came out about how I felt, oh, you wrong as hell. But at the same time, for me, it bothers me because people never address. Like, some people always tell you be the bigger person, And it's like, yeah, you can tell me be the bigger person, but why you can't tell them stop being so small?
Right.
Well, I stopped being a bigger person when I realized giant fall.
I stopped being the bigger person when I realized I was the biggest person in the room, and all these hoes is a little below me.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
we're not doing that.
Oh,
What a
let's
life.
see now.
So,
Yeah, I try not to be evil, but
Oh, my
it
goodness.
seeps out.
So what do you guys think about the Whitney Houston hologram that was
Take it away.
been
I'm not
pushed
here
to
for
us?
it.
You're
Take-
not
get
here
your-
for
right.
it?
listen,
Get your receipt and
Baby,
take
that-
it back.
That wouldn't used to be dead.
I watched Wendy Williams one day, and she was talking about the story, and she said she would have more respect if Pat Houston would say this is about money, because Pat Houston is really saying this is about continuing Whitney's legacy. Well, Whitney's legacy isn't going anywhere. She is the voice, like
Period.
the
But
music
they
that
said
she
that woman
made.
don't even look like her.
She
Not at
don't.
all.
She looks nothing like her.
I didn't want to watch it.
Like, we got a picture. Can we bring up the picture?
Yes.
She looks absolutely nothing like this one.
Not at all. The only thing that looked like Whitney is that towel she's holding in her hand. That's pretty much it.
So with Pat Houston saying this is about the legacy or continuing her legacy, I'm with Wendy. I have more respect for you if you say, listen, we need money. Our cash cow is gone.
Now, why she need money?
Why you have to say
Because
that?
that cash cow is gone. Pat Houston has made a living off of Whitney, just Whitney's voice, Whitney's look, Whitney's everything. Pat Houston has made money off of this. Now she's no longer living, and now Pat Houston needs to sustain her life that she's been living this entire time.
Right.
But even if it's just for paying bills or just their regular day-to-day living, I'm with Wendy. I will respect her more if she just say, guys, we need the money. Can you help support Whitney?
I don't understand the hologram, because they did this with Tupac, right?
What,
And Michael Jackson.
And Michael
And
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Like, just do a documentary, and not one bashing them. Just do a
But
documentary.
just tell the truth. It ain't bashing.
They did do a documentary, and it did go to the movie. They made money off her,
Yeah, they did. This
and it was directed
This
and
is
produced
it.
by Pat
So they
Houston.
want some more.
So more money. Not only did they do a movie, a documentary, they did a reality show.
Yeah.
That rap
They
show
did-
was good.
They did a lot of stuff.
Well, the Jacksons did it too.
Yeah.
The
Everybody
Whitney,
does
the
it.
Whitney Houston hologram, it premiered Tuesday night on the 25th in Sheffield, England. The performance has live music and also dancers, and it received mixed reviews from critics and audience members that were there also too.
Let the woman be dead.
Because you can't recreate an original. Like, you can't.
But she wasn't an original.
Who won her original?
Whitney Houston.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, you can't recreate the flesh and the blood. And, like, that's what people fail to realize. Like, I'm going here to see, and I hate to bring this woman's name up, I'm going here to see Beyonce.
Yeah. Why would you hate to bring Beyonce name?
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all get so caught up in y'all feelings about that woman.
I
But
love Beyonce.
see,
I love
that's
you,
what I'm
Queen
talking
Bee.
about. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I'll read it in a minute.
Right.
And
See,
still love her.
and we
Because
all over.
I love her because I don't have a reason to hate her.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, when you start talking about her, everybody get all their opinions and critics, but I don't care nothing about that.
Foolish.
Like, I feel like when I go to a Beyonce concert,
You get what you pay for.
but I go to actually see B sing these songs. What is she gonna do different than what she did on the album? With how she gonna dance? What is she going to entertain me with?
She's very entertaining.
With Whitney being dead and gone,
She ain't singing, but she go ahead.
I don't feel like
She's
this.
singing.
No, she ain't. She
One,
did-
here's
she
the
got
thing.
a
But here's the
gap.
thing about a concert. I'm
It's
not
her
going
voice.
to hear. I'm not going to no concert to hear you sing no song that you sung 20 years ago. Where your new shit is? Does it make sense? That's why I don't like certain tours. Does it make sense? Like, if you got a new album coming out, yeah, girl, I'm going. But like a reunion tour, like, girl,
You go to a Destiny Child reunion too.
no, I won't.
I would.
I would in a heartbeat.
So
If Destiny Child put out a new album, I'll go to the tour.
I'm sure they're gonna put out a new album to support the tour.
Okay, then I'm going. But if y'all just, oh, girl, we back together and we want to tour, nah, baby, go somewhere.
well, so what do we got movie wise? Because
Well, be on the lookout for
there's
Black.
not-
Be on the lookout for Black Panther star Letitia Wright to star in a thriller about the real-life silent twins. The twins only spoke to each other and created their own language that they could only understand. The twins have a story of psychic evaluation, death, and they also swap identities. They also went through a very harsh time with trying to figure out who to trust and who not to trust. And also, it's a real life thing. And one of the twins are still alive today. and that's a movie I'm really looking forward to seeing. Also, Candyman. I saw a trailer for Candyman.
Say my name, say my name.
I saw a trailer.
Beyonce reference.
I saw a trailer for Candyman, and I actually got my life, and I really feel like it's going to do really good at the movies. Everyone saw the movie. I know the first time I saw it, I was up all night. I couldn't blink. I ain't want to do nothing for a few days, and that's another movie I was looking for.
But I'm sorry, the promo for that movie has everybody. I'm sorry, it got me chuckling. Like you took a song that had a whole feel to it. Say my name, say my name. If nobody is around you, and then related it to Candyman and made it creepy.
Not only that, even in the movie, in the trailer, Candyman says, "I am the writing on the wall."
Yeah, he's always said that.
And there was a Destiny's Child album.
But that's actually a term saying like the writing's on the wall. Like, girl, you don't see this?
I get
it's kind
it.
of like, yeah.
I get
So
it, but what I'm saying is,
and Beyonce is Queen Bee.
and Candyman has to be.
Oh,
So listen. You guys can try and take away from this woman all you want to.
What woman?
What else we have?
Sasha Fierce.
So another movie that I'm looking forward to, and I just have to put my girl out there. I'm sorry, is Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin. I think she's gonna do an awesome job. Another movie that's coming to TV that I'm looking forward to is The Clock Sister.
Now I am looking forward to
I am
the Clock.
so-
I'm so ready.
Man,
I'm so ready to hear about the Clock Sister. But
Yes.
I ain't being funny. Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin. I mean, Jennifer Hudson, give them me a favor. Come in soft. Come in and
I
just
think
be,
she will.
be
Meanwhile, I ain't
soft.
here for none of this
Don't
shit.
be. We don't want to hear the weeping and wailing like you're Mary and Martha. We don't want to hear all that.
Keisha
We
Cole.
Get all that.
You
We
said,
not coming out
you
with
said weeping and you
But
wailing.
you know, like Kelly Price, Fantasia, those people. After you be listening to their song after 1 minute, you tired.
We gotta move to fashion. We gotta move to fashion. We gotta cover fashion.
So we're gonna talk about. Well, first of all,
Hey.
hey.
Hi.
Okay, so every episode I'm gonna do one shoe drop. So coming out next is it just came out not too long ago, is the Yeezys.
How much it cost?
There you go. They're orange and black.
Well, how much it cost?
It costs $220 dollars.
I know we got a picture. We can afford a picture.
What's
What
the
the Yeezys?
Just a picture?
But what the $220 about to get ready to do for a pair of shoes?
Walk in style and comfort. In that order.
Well,
But you could probably find the same shoes for a way cheaper price.
How much is the order?
Hey. Y'all talking to folks who don't think like that. They don't think.
I get that, but I want to understand.
Because some of these folks that actually get the shoes really ain't got no job. Their mama done better shoe for them. But we not even going to. But anyway.
Maybe they stole them.
Ooh, stud.
Can you take this bottle and hit I won't sue you.
I'm just playing. They stole the credit card.
Everybody
So
love
are these shoes specifically for Christians since he
Oh.
pastor now? I mean,
I mean, it's Chick-fil-A now. Ooh.
I just
Do you
wanna
still eat Chick-fil-A or not?
Do you get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich when you purchase it?
fashion.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Okay. So these are Yeezys, and they are they're Yeezys, and they're orange, and they're $220. Here's because Ramon loves pricing and investments. The last Yeezys came out. They were like, I don't know what color they were, but anyway, they came out a couple weeks ago. Retail value $220 on the day of coming out. The smallest price, the least amount that somebody has paid for that shoe that was once $220 is $310. The highest is $1,000 and up.
Wow.
No more than 13. I didn't see no price over 13.
Congratulations on all y'all out there.
Get it, Kanye.
in the world
Sell them
that-
shoes. Them hoes need kicks.
that's able to buy those shoes, but for me and my household,
We will not be wearing these.
we will not be wearing these.
What else do we have?
Does any of the money go towards a non-profit organization or
Yeah,
anything?
Kim
Yeah, Kim
Kardashian's first
Kardashian.
collection.
Oh,
Right. Kim need them Birkins. Buy them shoes. Anyway.
who's Kim Kardashian?
Nobody.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about something serious in fashion. The coronavirus. And how it's affecting
They got a
fashion.
coronavirus suit?
Well, okay. So everybody knows about the coronavirus, and it is killing people, and it's an epidemic or whatever. Okay. So,
A pandemic.
Guess
It's a
what?
pandemic. It's
Before we go forward,
Mhm.
and this is the only thing I gotta say, but I'm not gonna be long. I normally am long. I'm trying to understand how the coronavirus is new when it's been on the back of Lysol for a long time.
No, hold on.
I'm done.
Coronavirus is just saying that it spread from animals to humans. There's a different, just like the flu, is different different strands of coronavirus. So all coronavirus is saying that it spread from animals to humans. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying is it came from, this strand apparently came from bats, from people in China eating bats.
At a religious...
I don't know what,
but see,
why
what's really,
bats.
Well, it's a religious... It went to, okay, from my understanding, they went to like a religious conference where like, you know, like in... Okay, you remember when, don't quote me, Christians, Abraham, Joseph, one of them slaughtered a lamb. Mm-hmm. And whatever, it's kind of like one of those type of situations where we slaughter a bat, but instead of like burning the lamb and raising it to God.
But what they gotta do about the clothes?
Okay, well, you gotta think about this. Okay, it started in China, right? So it's just statistically thinking, China is, 40% of their customers, 40% of the luxury brand, the top 5 fashion houses, 40% of those customers come from actually China itself.
Oh, wow.
Not only that, but China is the world's largest garment reproduction place. So let's be honest, you get clothes from anywhere, check that tag, it say what, made in who, Indonesia, China.
Mask, but they came from China too.
Yeah, but the mask is sold out too, friend.
But
that's really funny because that's also affecting a lot of the Fashion Week stuff that's going on.
They said restaurants closing because of the coronavirus.
So don't eat no more Chinese food?
No, just go to Yummy Bowl.
Okay.
So guys, look.
I love a Chinese buffet now.
But here's the thing. Okay, anytime something like this happens and it affects the stock market, because this is what the coronavirus is affecting. It's affecting goods and transactions and sales and barters, and you know how we go with the U.S. with that.
Which is a problem. We have all of our own resources here in America
that we do not use. That we do not use.
But continue. Go ahead.
Right. But this is pretty much, it's going to, like, a long-term estimate, they're saying that they're going to lose about $43 billion from the coronavirus.
One thing is get it from Mark Zuckerberg or Bloomberg.
But also, they've canceled shows, like, as far as Giorgio Armani has canceled the show. Burberry has canceled the show. Cartier has canceled the show. Chanel has canceled the show. Prada, Shanghai and Beijing have canceled their fashion.
They still wear Burberry.
So listen, we gotta wrap things up.
Y'all, cause
before we get canceled, like
this is the culture.
Well, are you done or no?
No. Pretty much like, to put it in perspective, like most of all our textiles, cotton, shirts, socks, all that stuff is made over there. And then it's not even just over there, just think across the waters, period. Because a lot of the fashion houses are in London and Milan. As far as stocks go, Burberry has dropped 4.1%. Capri Holdings. Now, anybody who knows anything about Capri Holdings, Capri Holdings has what? Michael Kors, Versace, Hennessy, and Jimmy Choo, and all the other stuff. Yeah. So it's like they've plummeted. Not to the point where they're bankrupt, but to the point where what I'm interested in seeing is how this coronavirus is going to affect the actual prices of the items that are coming out during Fashion Week. Is this going to make these more coveted, whereas they have to make up for that money and raise those prices? Or are we going to like...
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that because I can't afford to buy nothing.
But what if the coronavirus actually works out in the long run and all of a sudden we got a discount on all these clothes they can't sell? Because who's going to be watching $20 Versace? I'm going to wear $20 Versace shirts.
We're going to speculate. We're going to see what happens. All I know is this has been fun with you guys. It's been fun with you guys. You can check us out on Roku and Smash Bros Entertainment. You can check us out on YouTube at the TV 205. It's been real. Come back next time so you guys can find out what's the tea.
Oh, my glass is empty.
Of course.